This isn't your everyday earlobe opening. We got one left.
Oh, that's so cute.
I've played this game way too much. I'm going to Hollywood, baby! What if I told you that everything we put in, around, or in front of our body, from the food that we eat to the content that we consume, affects how we feel as a person? Would you believe me? All these pills, red pill, black pill, med pill, I'm spilling. Dude, it's like pouring out of me at this point. I was young once, like watching all that content. I thought that it was going to do me good, and maybe for a time it did. Kind of like gave me confidence to do certain things, and like maybe there's a place for it. I don't really know. It's the internet. You kind of have to decide for yourself what you think is worth it to consume. Uh, just like anyone else, been trying to cut back on it. I'm down to like a YouTube video a day. So like instead of consuming so much, I'm trying to create over that. And it's not easy either, especially when, you live in a time where it's so abundant and it's so entertaining. Like there's a lot of good creators out there. There's some really funny people out there, but at the same time, like it feel like it kind of takes away from your personality if you get involved in it too much. Not to mention the fact that it drives you in directions that you don't really want to be in. It's kind of like you're getting raised by the internet a little bit, even if you don't want to be. Like your parents can do, like give you all the help and all the advice in the world, but the world is changing, and it'll always change. Like the world that my kids grow up in, I don't even know what it's going to look like. Right? I can do my best to try to show them the right morals and provide them with ethics and give them as much advice as I can, and as much as I think that I'll have the right answers, I probably won't, right? Because the world will be such a different time from when I'm my age to when they reach an age where they're starting to become more self-aware and want to like develop their own personality and become who they want to be or who they think they want to be. Like the short form content came out for me like when I was in high school with Vine, and Vine was cool. It was strict to 7 seconds, right? And people had to work really hard to try to fit a joke in really quick. But even then, like I'd be scrolling there, and it was kind of annoying uh, having people have sound on. And when it disappeared, like yeah, it kind of sucked, but it was probably better for us at the same time. And then TikTok took over the world and showed everyone that hey, short form is not only funny, but it's a great way to degrade your mental stability and turn your brain into a goldfish. So that's like the most common things that like young men are watching on the internet, right? Is the red pill and the black pill content. I think the red pill, I don't know, everyone has their own definitions of it. I think it's a critique of the modern world and the flaws that it's in. I think it caused this weird shift in your independence and thinking that everything has gone to shit. Like, you know, you're losing hope. And you have like no respect for the world, and everyone around you is an NPC. Like that's a pretty unhealthy way to look at things when you pass by a stranger and think that they're an NPC. Like no, that's a dude with a wife and a family with kids probably, right? We've reached a point where we're pretty selfish, and it doesn't make you feel good either. You've got your headphones in at all times stimulating you, and it makes you feel a certain way about the world. All the things that we watch makes us not appreciate and see the world for how it is. Like we're looking at it through a different lens than our own. And that sucks, right? Like don't you want to have your own interpretation, your own opinions and your own like passions as opposed to having on the internet trying to tell you what it is? I'm not going to be here to try to do that. I'm trying to like reveal what it looks like to me at least. When you're watching more than you like produce, then it's kind of taking away from your individuality. It's taking away from your own critical thinking and your creative mindset, which is something that humans are meant to do. We're meant to build things. It sounds like so elementary, but it's true. And the overconsumption of all these things is what's leading us to analysis paralysis, in my opinion. So I try to think back to a time where I didn't have these things. What would I do with my time to fill it? and how was it making my day go by slower? Because no matter what you do, as you age, your days fill up less of your life. So, like when you're 5 years old, 24 hours takes up a larger share of the time that you've spent on Earth, right? But being here for 28 years, a day doesn't feel like it holds as much value as it once did. And maybe that's a me problem. Maybe there's things that I need to add to my life or cut out of my life that make time move by slower. But I got to this point where I realized that days were starting to mold together. That's why I had to cut out the green. That was pissing me off. Days were melting. I didn't really like how that felt at one point. Being sober felt more weird than being inebriated, and I wasn't a fan of how that started to feel. It started as how does it go? First, it's magic, then it's medicine, and then it's misery. And I think the same goes for all the stuff that we consume. So, for example, the black pill. I think the black pill is just plain creepy. We've got those involuntary celibates spreading nothing but hate. I think it's a pretty immature mindset. We got these dudes that are preaching a very cold mindset to have, being all stoic and acting like you gotta live for yourself. And sure that, like, if you take these things in moderation and a grain of salt, like, yeah, the world feels like it's a very combative place right now, and you should be looking after yourself and the ones close to you. You should have like a smaller circle of concern before you can branch out and try to, fix other people's problems first. I get that, but walking and talking and carrying yourself in such a way that you think that everything is just dark, the world will be dark. If you look for the beauty in things, or if you look for the goodness in people, you'll find it. Standing up for yourself, protecting your body, protecting your mind, doing the things on a day-to-day basis that make you happy. Being in a childlike state is very beneficial, especially when it comes to talking to girls, right? Like, it's so much easier when you just get silly and flirty and fun, quirky, not creepy. And the same goes for looking after your well-being. If you think back to the times when you were a kid, what would you do to fill your time? How would you enjoy yourself? Even if you sit there and be bored, at least you would spark some inspiration and think, well, maybe I want to start drawing. You never had any resistance as a kid, but nowadays we think to the robot, or we think to YouTube as our god, almost, to try to ask for permission to do things. Just do it. If you feel like doing something, and maybe you saw a YouTube video, oh, this is a waste of time. No, it's not. If there's something that interests you, get into it, try it. If it's not for you, it's not for you, but at least you tried it. That's what it's all about, right? And the more you try these things, the more you'll figure out what's for you. And you might find something that you're super passionate at and super good at, and then before you know it, you're chasing it like you're a kid again. Like, pause for a second. How many substances are in your possession, are in my possession? I'm, I mean, dude, I'm not perfect. I'm sitting here packing another lip of a Zin right now. There's some studies that say that nicotine can be good for you. I'm not sure how much I believe that. Like, it can help avoid Alzheimer's and stuff like that. But that's besides the point. We all have our vices. We've got Zins, vapes, the Penjamingo, caffeine, dopamine, the beatbox. Like, dude, there's so much. It may not seem like a lot when you're going through your day to day, but when you like sit down and think about all the things that you've put in your body, it's like, oh man, like it starts to stack up, right? And that's when I realized I need to start like taking better care of myself in that sense. Like, sure, I exercise daily, and I have for a number of years, but that's not going to fix everything. Um, I did once believe that, and I still do to an extent. Like, if you live a sedentary lifestyle, exercising is going to be a good medicine for you. But if you're also stacking a bunch of things and self medicating, that can also have an effect on your mental, right? You can't work yourself out of a mental problem. And no, exercising isn't going to be the end all be all and the one size fits all fix, but acting acting on it, and actually having action response to these things. You know, you can't sit there and think yourself out of a rut. You have to act. Oh man, I shouldn't be doing all those things. Okay, then trust your instincts. Don't do it. Simple as that. Trust your instincts right now. That's the best thing that we've got. You know what's best for you. Whether you're religious or not, the Holy Spirit is in you. The spirit of goodness is in you. Everyone's soul, I personally believe, wants to be good. And you know if certain things that you're doing will make you feel a certain way. You'll know. You just got to be a little bit honest with yourself. Look, all these things, all these vices, all these tools that we have, you can still enjoy these things in moderation. But don't let it consume you, right? Use it. Don't let it use you. If you sincerely think that it has a beneficial effect on your life, by all means, man, it's there. You know what's best for you, like I said. But try to reverse the effects with it and be true to yourself and whether or not it's good for you. Change doesn't happen overnight. It's not easy to make these shifts. But, one of the biggest tools that we have is our phone. We have the robot in our pocket now. We've got artificial intelligence. That's insane. I didn't think I would have it in my lifetime. I thought that was just going to be a far-fetched idea for years and years to come. Maybe I thought my kids would deal with it, but here we are. And you can use it to your advantage, but trust yourself first, man. It's not a human. It never will be. It's never going to be as empathetic as you. It's never going to be as funny as you. It's never going to be as creative as you. If you think about it this way, the apps that we use are the dealers, the phone is the supplier, and the companies or the neuroscientists that they hire are the distributors for this drug that we call the dopamine, the serotonin levels. When you're spiking these things, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. But you're also stronger than it. You're stronger than this fucking thing, dude. It's just that simple. There's a couple like real life tools that you can use to try to heal your brain a little bit. I've been trying to get back into meditating. I knew meditating was beneficial for me personally because one time before I had to take an exam in college, I like my anxiety was through the roof. I was like, man, like if I can't calm this down, I'm not gonna be able to like pick up the pencil and focus while I'm taking this. Like I gotta try something. And I sat there and did like this guided meditation thing on YouTube, and I fell asleep. I fell asleep for like an hour and a half, and I didn't even mean to. It was wild. And then, for several years, I didn't really pick it back up. What else? What else can be beneficial? Going out and like shooting hoops, playing your favorite sport, goofing around. As simple as it seems, yeah, touching grass, getting outside. Really, what it comes down to is just trying to get out of your head. If you can get out of your head, your day will feel a lot better. Get out of your head, try to get into somebody else's, have a good conversation with someone in your family or a good friend. Give that friend you haven't spoken to in a while a call. Let them know you're thinking about them, because chances are if you're thinking about them, they've thought about you recently. You'd be surprised. How many times have you been thinking about someone and then all of a sudden you get a text from them? It's like, whoa, that's crazy, huh? That's how you know we're connected. Just try to slow it down, homies. Really, really, live from your heart. Try to get out of your head, because you're still there. Your personality is still there. I promise you. You may feel a little bit numb, a little bit mitigated, suppressed, flattened, depressed. But all the tools are still available to you, and it's not too late. You'll have bad days, you'll have good days, and try to take note of what you're doing to have a good day. You'd be surprised at the little things that you do that stack up by the time you get to bed, and you're like, wow, like that was a well spent day. And then chances are you won't forget that. You won't forget the day that you had. If you have the ambition, try to chase it. There's a lot of people that live their whole life with ambition and then regretted not going for it. Just go for something. You know, if there's a dream job that you want, go ahead and try to take it. If there's something creative that you always wanted to do, go ahead and try it. Sure, if you fall short, it might suck, but at least you'll probably pick up a skill along the way. Excuse me. Or find something else that you're good at in the process. If you're already on track, stay balanced. The good habits will stack up, and you'll start having way better days than bad days. The better days are ahead, man. Just have a little bit of hope for yourself. All right? Believe in yourself and have some confidence with the way that you carry yourself. All right? Catch you on the next one. Not sure what game I'm going to be playing next. Splitgate 2 seems sick. But, I don't know. These kids using the portals are way faster than me. I'll shoot a portal and think like, oh, this is going to be the best one. And then I go through it and I'm immediately disoriented. I don't know, dude. Unk brain is starting to get to me. I wish I was raised on Fortnite. Well, yeah. No, I wish I was. I'd probably be better at the games that I want to play. All right. Talk to you.